Hi everyone, welcome back to Bonnie Astrology. Today we're talking about the new moon in Libra happening on September 25th or 26th, depending on where you are in the world, and what it means for your zodiac sign. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for regular updates and give the video a like to let me know that you like it. If you want to book a reading with me, an astrology reading, a tarot reading, or a Reiki session, or a combination of all three, or two, or one, whatever you fancy, the email is listed below in the description box. It's the only place you can get me. I won't reach out to you in the comments, those are scammers. So this new moon in Libra is quite an exciting one because new moons are, of course, opportunities to plant seeds, to establish new beginnings, to figure out what it is that we want to cultivate over the coming months. And this happening in the sign of Libra is going to be a new beginning in terms of partnerships and relationships, but also where we can establish more balance in our life. The good news about this new moon is that it is opposite Jupiter in Aries, and this is very exciting because when we have Jupiter in an alignment with the new moon, a lot of the times that can bring blessings, it can bring opportunities, it can bring good feelings, great social interactions, fun, happiness, generosity, all the nice side of Jupiter. Jupiter does expand though. And the thing about the expansion is that when Jupiter is expanding something, say you have a Jupiter transit and you're thinking, this doesn't seem so lucky to me. A lot of the time it's because it's giving you a higher lesson to see things from a higher perspective. Jupiter is a very philosophical planet, and a lot of the time there is wisdom in Jupiter, and that wisdom can be the blessing, because there really is no greater blessing than wisdom, as it can help you establish what to do or what not to do in your life. Especially when it's in the sign of Aries, it's very self-focused, and the wisdom can come from the self. Now, because Jupiter has been in Aries for a few months, it's going to retrograde back out of Aries into Pisces in October. But over the last 2 months, it has probably given you some kind of insight into what you want personally. And the more that you know the self, the more that you gain the wisdom on the self, the more that you can apply that to new beginnings in your relationships based on what you've learned about your own self, and bring to the table what it is that you need in relationships, what it is that you want in relationships of all kinds. Partnerships, romantic relationships, you name it. This new moon is a new beginning in those areas. To add a little bit more good feeling to the mix, the ruler of this new moon, Venus, is in Virgo, and it is conjunct Mercury, and it is trining Pluto. Now, the trine to Pluto is very tight, meaning that there is positive transformations happening in relationships. It can also be that you're finding that the psychological understanding or the changes that you're making are going to help out with your relationships. Maybe you've been learning about attachment styles, maybe you've been doing shadow works, maybe you've been seeing how you show up to relationships or what your relationship patterns are like. And interestingly enough about this too, because Venus is in Virgo, it's conjunct Mercury, which has retrograded back into Virgo. So with the Mercury retrograde conjunct Venus, there is an opportunity to reconcile with people from your past, be it friendships, be it old clients, be it old business partners, or be it even old relationships. Don't shoot the messenger. People get very touchy about that. But it can be where you have fallen out of touch with somebody, or it can be that you are single and you run into someone that you knew years ago and think this would actually be a better fit for me now based on how I've changed. Something like that. It doesn't have to be an ex necessarily, although a lot of people may find themselves reconciling with someone around this point if there has been breakdowns in communication. And this can apply in current relationships. If there have been difficulties, this new moon can actually bring a really positive new chapter. So the themes of this new moon: optimistic new beginnings, emotional displays, because Jupiter is very out there. Jupiter likes to expand things. You might notice more emotional outbursts, generosity, openness, kindness. It's very sociable too. So this could be a nice new moon to be out and about. It is happening at a weekend for most of us, so it could be a nice time to get out and socialize with those that you hold dear, establish new relationships. You never know who you might meet. So let's get a tarot card for this new moon in Libra before we get into the zodiac signs and see what the energy is of this new moon. Ooh, the compass. That's quite exciting. That's new directions. I feel like a lot of you are realizing what way you want to go with something, what direction you want to take. And the compass underneath is the ring. Interesting. There's going to be a lot of new developments in relationships. There's probably going to be a lot of where are we going discussions, or there's going to be next chapter discussions, or it's going to feel like maybe you run into somebody who feels like your forever person. or you've maybe recently connected with or are soon to connect with someone that could be that person. So that's quite exciting. But I think with this card, there's a sense of going towards something new. There's a sense of going in a new direction. There's a sense of going somewhere that feels very optimistic and very exciting. Jupiter is a very philosophical planet. It also is associated with foreign travel. So for some people, this compass could be taking a destined trip. So I like this energy. It's very sweet. For me, it is conjunct my Venus. So obviously I'm gonna like it. So if you want to know what this means for your rising sign, you can check the astrology below, because there will be, if you look at your rising sign, it's more accurate in terms of the astrology, but I am going to be doing cards for each, so you can probably get a bit of insight from your sun, moon and your rising, or whoever you're spying on, because I know some of you do. So let's get into the new moon in Libra predictions for each of the zodiac signs. The timestamps are listed below. As I said before, if you want to book a reading with me, the information is listed below. I am now taking 2023 readings, because there's a lot happening in 2023, especially if you're a Taurus. So let's get into the video. Talk soon. Hi Aries, sun, moon and rising. Welcome to the new moon in Libra. Aries, this is happening in your partnership sector, meaning that there is likely to be, if you're an Aries rising, a new relationship entering your life or a new chapter in your relationship status. This can be romantic, it can be business, but there's a key person where there is either a new development or someone new is entering your life. It doesn't have to be completely new, because the ruler of this new moon, Venus, is conjunct Mercury and Mercury is retrograde. This is happening in your 6th house. So you may connect with someone you used to work with. You may connect with someone that you have had, you shared a routine with, whatever that means, where you had a shared schedule, or maybe you were working in the same area or the same industry. But it can also be for a lot of you with the ruler of this new moon conjunct Mercury retrograde that you're picking up an old health habit, maybe an old exercise routine or an old diet or something like that around this time. Your 6th house placements are trining Pluto in your 10th house. So I feel like a lot of you could be getting recognition at work, and this could be leading to a new business partnership or a new contract for some of you. The new moon is opposite Jupiter in your sign. So I feel like whatever is happening, you're going to be feeling very optimistic and excited about this. And I also think you're going to be feeling very self-confident about this. This might be a time where if you want to pursue somebody, you really should put yourself out there and see how it goes, because with Jupiter in your sign, you're more charismatic and more magnetic and you're attracting more things. So if you want a collaboration with somebody, if you want a sponsorship from somebody, if you want a relationship with somebody, this is the time to make it known, I guess. Let's see what we've got for you. We have the cage with the key. So there's the key here. I feel like you're getting some kind of key information. There's a key person. There's something at this time that is, I think, also getting unlocked. And the number 33 could be significant, but I do think that there is maybe something being unlocked around this new moon that you were really hopeful for. Perhaps you're getting a gift around this time for some reason, but I think for a lot of you, there is going to be something significant that I think sets you free in some kind of way. So the way that I'm seeing that, the key is quite an interesting one to interpret. I'm going to give you one more. The fish. This could definitely be in terms of career. I feel like you're understanding what works best for you. I feel like you understand what is working to your advantage, what the secret is. You could also be learning a secret around this time, Aries, which is interesting because the ruler Venus in Virgo is opposite Neptune in your 12th house. So you could be learning a secret that you didn't know around this time. So that's what I have for you, Aries, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Taurus, sun, moon and rising. Welcome to the new moon in Libra, which is in your 6th house. There is a new beginning here for you in your sector of your work, in your sector of your health and your well-being. So some of you could actually be starting a new job around this time. Some of you could be starting a new diet. Some of you could be starting a new exercise regimen. You could be adding something to your schedule, and this is going to be really positive for you, Taurus, especially in terms of your mental health. Perhaps you're deciding that you want to meditate daily, you want to journal daily, you want to walk to work, you want to cycle to work, you want to join this gym, you want to become a vegetarian, or you're starting a job. Whatever it is that you're beginning around this time in that area is really going to impact your mental health and well-being in a wonderful way. because Jupiter in your 12th house means that for a lot of you, you're learning a lot about how to heal the self, how to work through any issues that you have with the self, any subconscious issues come to the fore when Jupiter's there. Jupiter's a bit like a guardian angel in the 12th house, and it's helping you heal. And whatever it is that you're doing now in a practical sense, Taurus, is really going to help you feel great from the inside out. The ruler of this new moon is in Virgo, and for you, Taurus, Virgo is the 5th house, which is very fun, and it's conjunct Mercury retrograde in the 5th house. You might hear from someone you used to date, or you might hear from someone you used to be very creative with, or there might be something comes up with a child in your life. I do think for a lot of you that are doing something creative, you could be picking up something you wanted to work on before, an old artistic habit, an old artistic project, something that really made you feel very fulfilled, but maybe for whatever reason it fell by the wayside and now you're picking it up again. Venus is trine Pluto in your 9th house, and I do think for a lot of you, if you're traveling around this time, you might actually connect with someone on a romantic level or a creative level. Or it could be that you're finding your philosophy is quite positive around this time. Kind of gives me Hakuna Matata vibes. Problem-free philosophy with Venus trine Pluto. I feel like you're really, especially if you're a 25-degree Taurus person, you could be finding a lot of benefit coming out of this, where you're feeling as though you love what you're doing. Maybe if you're studying something or learning something, you love what you're learning, you love what you're teaching. It feels very freeing, I think, is the way I'm seeing this for you, Taurus. Ooh, we have the snake card. This is an interesting one for you to receive. Obviously, the 12th house is associated with hidden enemies. So with Jupiter being there, it actually means you're protected from your hidden enemies. It could be around this time, maybe you come into awareness of some snakes in the grass, but they can't harm you. It could be that you realize that someone or something wasn't what you thought it was, but you're okay. Like, you're protected from it. I feel like you're good. I want to clarify that because it's a weird card. The book, yeah. Knowledge. You're gaining knowledge on something. I feel like you're gaining knowledge on what or who does not work for you, what your enemies are. And enemies can be something as small as sugar. It can be that you realize that sugar is actually really bad for you, or you realize you're gluten intolerant or something like that, and the knowledge is really helping you feel a lot better physically and emotionally. I'm really sorry if you have to cut out sugar, I am, but that is what I'm getting for that. So Taurus, that is what I have for you. I hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. Gemini, this new moon is happening in your 5th house of love, of romance, of playfulness, of creativity, of children. It's quite a fun house. You have a new moon in the fun house. So this is a new moon to be doing something you enjoy. If you have something you want to begin creatively, this is a great time to do it. I know that Mercury is in retrograde, but there are seeds to be planted, or at least the idea to be considered. I feel like at this time, if there's something that you really are intuitively drawn to that you know would make you happy, this is a great time to throw yourself into it, or to pick it up again. If there is something that you were doing creatively, maybe you were writing a book, maybe you were writing a song, and you're thinking, I need to pick this up again, do it. This is opposite Jupiter in your 11th house of aspirations, dreams, and wishes. And Jupiter going through the 11th house is by far my favorite transit in astrology. You can really have a dream come true with that transit. So the fact that it's opposite this new moon means that if you start something creatively, or maybe you start something romantically, or start something that gives you joy, it can completely lead to wish fulfillment. There seems to be a new beginning here that is to do with your heart and your aspirations, something that you really want for yourself, something that you really care to do. This is the ruler of this new moon is Venus. Venus is in your 4th house of home and family matters, conjunct Mercury in retrograde. I do think for a lot of you, you could be reconciling with someone in your family, or sorting through an issue with a family member, or sorting through an issue to do with the home. Venus is trining Pluto very tightly in Capricorn, and Capricorn for you is your 8th house. So I get the sense that the reconciliation with someone in your family, or sorting out a home matter, or sorting out a matter from the past, is coming from some sort of psychological introspection and analysis. And maybe also you've let something go, you've let a grudge go or a burden go, and you're noticing how it is actually giving you an advantage in some situation to do with home and family, or to do with healing the past. Oh, you got the same card as Taurus. I feel like there's something going on between Geminis and Taurus at this moment, because you got the snake card as well as Taurus. But because of the trine between the ruler of this new moon to Pluto, I feel like you're shedding a skin. I feel like it's coming up for you as shedding a skin, although the fox is underneath. I think for maybe a few of you, you could be realizing where something just hasn't been, you know, Mercury's in retrograde. So I think the way that I'm seeing this is that because it's your ruler, you could see around this new moon where someone's been dishonest, or where there has been dishonesty, or something hasn't been quite right. And I think you're coming into awareness of it, and it's giving you the same vibe as Taurus in the sense that knowledge is power. But I kind of think with the snake card, it is shedding a skin in some way is what I'm seeing with you. That's really interesting. It could just be that snakes are actually appearing to you as a spirit animal sign, and you should look into the symbolism of the snake. There might be a message in that for you, Gemini. So that's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising. This new moon is happening in your 4th house of home and family. It is opposite Jupiter in your 10th. So Cancer, there is a nice boost to your home and family sector. I feel like there is a new beginning for you here. Maybe you are getting a home, maybe you're purchasing a home, maybe you find somewhere new to live, maybe there's a new addition to your family, maybe there's some kind of new beginning in your family that's really going to make you feel quite elated, quite excited. With Jupiter being in your 10th house, you may be able to purchase a home because of a promotion, or you may find that the new living situation or the family that you're connecting with at this time are going to help you in some way career-wise. Maybe some of you are shifting to move for your job. Maybe some of you are moving because of your job. Maybe some of you are changing your working from home situation. If you work from home, maybe you're deciding you want to go back to work in your office environment, or maybe it's that you are doing the opposite. But there seems to be some kind of change happening to you, Cancer, in terms of your living situation, but also your career. There could also be some kind of new beginning with a parent at this time as well. The ruler of this new moon, Venus, is in Virgo, your 3rd house, conjunct Mercury retrograde in your 3rd house, and it's trine Pluto in your relationship sector. I think there's going to be something you're revisiting with a partner at this time that maybe works out better this time. You could be revisiting a conversation. This could be to do with home and work arrangements. You could be revisiting a conversation that you're actually willing to work through and that you can transform at this time, Cancer. There seems to be something happening in terms of a relationship. If you're single, you may actually connect to someone romantically through something in your neighborhood, through a short course, through something you're learning, or through a friend or a sibling. So if you are looking for love, that's a good avenue to go down, to let people know that you're looking, and let them know you're looking, especially if they're your neighbors, if they are your siblings. Let's get you a tarot card. Ooh, the garden. Very pretty. I think a lot of you could be attending, if you're attending an event and you're single around this time, this is a really good time to connect with someone romantically. You might also be going to an event with a partner at this time, but there seems to be some kind of social event, or maybe connecting to someone through a social event romantically, or through someone you know socially. Connecting you with someone romantically is the way that I'm seeing this, because the Swans is the heart and this is the garden card. So you could be connecting with somebody romantically for sure at this time, with that trine from Venus to your 7th house, Cancer. So if you are single and you want to meet somebody, do accept invitations to events, especially if they're outdoors, which may work wherever you are, depending on the weather. So let's hope for good weather for you. So Cancer, that is what I have for you. I hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Leo, Sun, Moon and Rising. Leo, this new moon is happening in your 3rd house of communication, but also learning. This is a very knowledgeable new moon for you. It is opposite Jupiter in your 9th house. If you are taking a course, teaching a course, or you're teaching in general, or you're learning in general, these areas are really wonderful for new beginnings at this time. So maybe you're deciding you want to teach a course, maybe you're deciding you want to take a course on a topic that really interests you. This is going to expand you a lot. This is going to expand your mind. This is going to expand your horizons. Some of you could also be taking a trip soon that is going to be very expansive for you in nature as well. It's going to help you see things differently. It's going to help you see the world differently. It's going to help you expand your vision of the world. So anything learning and travel and education around this time for you, Leo, is highlighted as being something incredibly positive. The ruler of this new moon is Venus. It is in your second house and it is conjunct Mercury retrograde. There may be, especially because Venus is trining Pluto in your sixth house, there may be an opportunity for you comes up work-wise to make more money. There could be something you've been doing habit-wise that is going to pay off financially. I feel like you could have an opportunity comes round again to make money. Or you could have an opportunity comes around again work-wise, or whatever you do with your day-to-day life, something that comes around again that maybe boosts your confidence. I think with Mercury retrograde in your second house now, you're getting to grips with what truly matters to you, and also what your relationship with your finances actually is. You might also find that if somebody owes you money, or if you owe someone money, this is the time to pay it off. This is the time to pick it up. This is the time to collect. There could actually be money coming to you that you didn't remember someone owed you, or something like this. It could be just money that is due to you that comes back out of nowhere. But this new beginning for you, Leo, is going to be very knowledgeable. It's also worth noting that sometimes with the third house, there could be, especially because this is Libra, a new individual that you begin communication with at this time that is going to be quite important. So let's see what your tarot says, Leo. Aww. We have the kid. The kid. Make him sound like a goat. It's a child. This is a fairy tale card, number 13. So number 13 might be significant. But this is to do with children. So if you teach children or you work with children, this is something that's highlighted as very positive at this time. I also feel like for some of you, this could be trying to re-engage with visualization of what you want to manifest in your life, because it's a fairy tale. You know, what you dreamed of having when you were a child, what you dreamed of being when you were a child. And with the flowers underneath, knowing what your gifts are and how you can use them. And maybe for some of you as well, doing a little bit of inner child work at this time, Leo. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Libra for you, which is your second house. Virgo, this new moon is very financially oriented. It is opposite Jupiter in your 8th house. There's a financial new beginning happening here. Perhaps you are going to be opening a new bank account. Perhaps you're going to be doing something differently with your money. Perhaps you're starting a new job around this time that's going to give you more money. With Jupiter opposite this new moon, it could be that your income goes up. It could be that the money you receive from other people goes up, or it could be also that your spending goes up. So just pay attention to that, Virgo. This is a good time to get very clued in and knowledgeable with Jupiter on your finances. But a lot of you could be coming into money at this time, and I'll tell you why, because the ruler of this new moon, Venus, is also in your sign, and Venus rules money. So I do think for you, especially because Venus rules your money as well, it's the ruler of your second house, I do think for a lot of you, you could be coming into some money at this time for whatever reason. It could also be money that you're owed from the government or owed from someone else, or if you're married, it could be that your spouse is coming into more money. And this is in turn going to be a new beginning for you financially. Venus in your sign is trine Pluto in your 5th house. And Venus is also conjunct Mercury retrograde in your sign. A lot of you could be finding at this time, Virgo, with Pluto going through your 5th house, that you connect with somebody romantically at this time with a very intense attraction. I think it's very possible for a lot of you Virgos that you could actually be finding yourself in a new romantic situation, or even maybe reconciling with someone from the past. But there seems to be something going on with your relationships here, whether you're single or not. So I think there could be communications around this time, interactions around this time, that seems to be quite significant, particularly because Mercury is opposite Neptune in your partnership sector. So there could be some kind of communication going on with you and a partner at this time. And I also think it could be to do, if you're in a relationship, it could center around the conversation of children or dating, like how you date each other, even if you're married, you know, if you date nights and stuff like that. Kind of feels like there's a few conversations going on romantically for you, Virgo. And if you are single, I do feel like you could be attracting someone where there's a very significant attraction, a chemistry. So let's get you a card, Virgo, and see what's going on for you. Ooh, we have the fish. This is very abundant energy. This corresponds sort of to the King of Pentacles, where there's a lot of abundance. I feel like you could be feeling really flush at this time, or there's an opportunity to make money or to make more money, Virgo. This can also be that there is a significant Pisces sun, moon, or rising in your life, or it could just be that you are... maybe you're seeing a lot of fish symbolism, maybe you're seeing a lot of fish imagery. But fish in this deck is to do with abundance. So I do think this is a really positive sign for you in terms of money and abundance in general, you know, feeling fulfilled financially or in terms of material endeavors as well. But because Pisces does rule your relationships, I feel like there could be someone significant on the periphery if you're single, or in a relationship you're discussing the more long-term prospects of what is going on. That's what I have for you, Virgo, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Libra, sun, moon and rising. Welcome to the new moon in your sign. Libra, this is a new beginning for you and it's very blessed. So this new moon for you is opposite Jupiter in your partnership sector. I feel like for a lot of you, there's a new beginning happening in your life that is very linked to your relationships. It is potentially something going on for you, something you're starting for yourself that is supported by a relationship. It could be that you're working on yourself in such a way that it's attracting in a new relationship. This could be the addition of a new hairstyle. Is that the right way to phrase that? Addition of a hairstyle? You're adding a hairstyle? I don't know. You could be getting a new hairstyle. You could be changing up your clothing. You could be changing up your skincare. There's something about you and your outer image that is new, that is sparkly. Maybe you're paying more attention to this and this is actually attracting in a relationship. Or perhaps you're starting something for yourself and your partner or your spouse is saying, yes, I'm here for it, let's do it. It's very much a new beginning that benefits you, but I feel like has some link to someone else very important in your life. And if it's in business, it's almost like maybe you're doing something for yourself that is making you a better business partner and they want to reward you in some way. The ruler of this new moon is, of course, your ruler Venus. It is at 25 degrees of Virgo and it is trine Pluto in Capricorn. I think for a lot of you, because this is a link between the watery houses, the 12th house and the 4th house, and because Mercury is conjunct Venus and Mercury is in retrograde, you could be reconciling with something that's happened in the past. For some of you, it could be with family. But I also feel for a lot of you, this is very healing with Venus in Virgo conjunct Mercury retrograde in your 12th house. It's like you're getting some sort of awareness. Maybe you're doing something or learning something that is making you more aware of what goes on underneath it all. Some of you could also be reconnecting with a soulmate from the past, and by soulmate I don't mean that they're necessarily the one, but it could be that you're reconnecting with someone where you really felt that instant recognition. You just knew they were significant in your life, or you could be experiencing that this time around with someone that feels like you've known them forever. Let's get you a card, Libra, and see what the energy is. Ooh, the stars. This actually, because it's the 6 of hearts as well, this gives me 6 of cups energy. You guys could be reconnecting with someone at this time, especially if it's a soulmate, like it's written in the stars is what's kind of coming up with this card. It's about following the guidance. I also think for some of you, you could actually be consulting with an astrologer around this time. And you could be finding that it's giving you some very clear insights into what your destiny is. And this is interesting for you, Libra, because as a Libra rising, the North Node is transiting your 8th house, and seeing astrologers is actually something that's really good for you because it does help you figure out your destiny, which could be something that is coming up for you around this time. So that's what I have for you, Libra. I hope you have a beautiful new moon. Talk soon. Hi Scorpio, sun, moon and rising. Welcome to the new moon in Libra. Scorpio, this new moon is happening in your 12th house, which is very secretive and introspective. You could be deciding around this new moon that you want to take some time to yourself. It could be that you've realized that there's something that you want to heal and you found a new way of healing it. So that could be that you have recently discovered Reiki. It could be that you've recently started going to a shaman. It could be that you've recently started learning about psychology, or you're starting with a new therapist, or you're doing something, Scorpio, that's healing you from the inside out. And this is actually really good for your health overall. I think for a lot of you with Jupiter in the 6th house, you understand the benefit of looking after yourself. You understand the benefit of how you eat, how you work out, how you move your body, what your goals are in that area. Jupiter brings a lot of blessings to that area. It also brings blessings to your work, but I'll get to that in a second. And I think with this new moon happening in your 12th house, you're realizing the emotional connection to this. And whatever new beginning is happening there is going to be very healing for you. You may also be feeling very psychic and tapped in around this time, Scorpio, and really following your intuition as to what it is you want to do next. It could also be that the work that you're doing for your everyday work, you've realized there's something you want to do behind the scenes. If you want to start a goal, Scorpio, and it could be linked to any of these matters, but if you want to start a goal in private, this is a really good time to do it, because sometimes it just is better to do things in private. You know this is a Scorpio. Sometimes it is better to work on something behind the scenes until it's just about ready to be seen, so you're not dealing with interference. What you do behind the scenes privately, provided it's not hurting anybody or hurting yourself, is going to be something that's very beneficial to you, because you're going to get better results with the things that you're doing secretively, which you would like anyway. But the ruler of this new moon is Venus. It is in your 11th house and it is trine Pluto in your 3rd. There could be some very exciting conversations with friends. There could be some very exciting news surrounding an aspiration or a long-term goal of yours. There could be exciting social activities. You may also be hearing from a friend or hearing exciting news from a friend at this time, Scorpio. Or it could be that you're actually reconnecting or hearing from an old friend, someone you lost touch with, someone you fell out with, anything like that. You could be reconnecting with someone that you used to have a friendship with, or you used to work on a goal with. That is sort of the way that I'm seeing this. You could be hearing from someone that was in your circle and is no longer in your circle, or if you've fallen out with a friend, this could be a time when you're hashing it out and trying to figure things out. Let's get you a tarot card, Scorpio, and see what this new moon is for you. The magnifying glass. That really gives me detective inspector vibes. I think a lot of you could be really, a lot of you could actually be working on something behind the scenes that is taking your investigative skills or your research skills. You could be researching something and really looking in depth. You could be having to study something in depth at this time. But I also feel like with the new moon in the 12th house, you could be more inclined to dive that little bit deeper. And I think with the book on the other end, you're maybe learning about healing and the occult. I feel like there's something that's piquing your interest here, and it is a very exciting new beginning because it is going to benefit you, mind, body, and soul. That's what I have for you, Scorpio, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Saggies, this new moon is happening in your 11th house, which is to do with friendships. It's to do with your aspirations, your goals, and groups. So this new moon for you, Sagittarius, happening in the 11th house is going to be opposite Jupiter in your 5th. So there's a new beginning happening for you. This could be that you are deciding you want to go for that wish. You're wanting to go after that dream. You're wanting to go after that aspiration, that ideal. It can also be that you are attracting into your life a new beginning in terms of a social group or a social circle. You could be finding yourself around a whole new group of people, a whole new cast in your life. You could be finding yourself connecting with a new friend. And I feel like this is a wonderful time for you to network because it can bring you wonderful new beginnings. So even on social media, something could be starting up for you at this time, Sagittarius. But this is a wonderful new moon to manifest in general, because I would associate manifestation a lot with the 11th house. And when we have a new moon that is connected to Jupiter, it can really accelerate your dreams coming true. So this is a great time to make a vision board. This is a great time to visualize and manifest all that stuff. Because it's opposite Jupiter in your 5th house, a lot of the blessings or new beginnings could also be coming in the form of your children, or in terms of pregnancy, or in terms of love, or in terms of dating, or in terms of fun, romance, joy, all that good stuff. And creativity too. If you're in the creative industry, there's a lot of blessings there for you. The ruler of this new moon is Venus. Venus is in your 10th house. It is conjunct Mercury retrograde in your 10th house. An old opportunity could come around for you in terms of career. Could be an old job, could be an old boss, but there could be an opportunity comes back around again that is really good for you, especially financially, because Venus is trine Pluto in your 2nd house. You may find that your career is going to give you a promotion or a boost. With Mercury retrograde, this might need to be revisited, or it might be delayed in some sense, Sagittarius, but I do think that the things going on around your career, the things that are being picked up again, have the potential to improve your financial situation or improve your confidence. Let's get you a card, Sagittarius. Oh, the anchor. Yeah, I think a lot of you are feeling a lot more stable. I think a lot of you are going to be feeling a lot more stable with this new moon. I think you're really going to be anchoring yourself to a dream. I feel like you're going to be very determined on this, very solid on this, and you're knowing how to be steady in the midst of it. And I also have the swan underneath. So a lot of you could be finding that your partnership is your anchor in life, or you could be finding yourself, you could be finding someone, like a relationship in general. It doesn't have to be romantic, but someone in your life is being very supportive at this time, and you're feeling very supported. You're feeling very connected to somebody who is that strength of support. That is what I have for you, Sagittarius. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising. Capricorn, this new moon is happening in your 10th house of career. We have a new beginning happening for you in career, and boy, is it blessed. It is opposite Jupiter in your 4th house. So Capricorn, whatever it is that you do professionally, there is some kind of new beginning. Maybe it's a new project, maybe it's a new goal, maybe it is a new job. Maybe it is a change in your job, but this is going to benefit you, and it's going to benefit you in terms of your home and your family, or you're feeling very supported by your home and family at this time in the goal and the new beginning. But the two are linked up in a way that's really quite beautiful. So I feel like for you, there is something to celebrate in terms of your career, in terms of the new beginnings happening in your career, but also the blessings in your home and family situation. It might be around this time that you're really focusing on a goal that is career oriented, but it could also just be as linked to your family or your living situation, Capricorn. Great time to figure out what your goals are for the future, how you want your future to look, how you want your career to look, what you want your home to be like, what you want your family situation to be. Great time to set those intentions. The ruler of this new moon, Venus, is in Virgo, and for you that is your 9th house. It is trine Pluto in your 1st house. I feel like you're getting a really optimistic attitude around this new beginning. I feel like you're feeling very excited about this, feeling very hopeful about this. I feel like you're really seeing the higher perspective. I really feel like you're trusting in the divine, trusting in faith. Venus in your 9th house is conjunct Mercury retrograde in your 9th house. If you're planning a trip, expect delays. Just be particularly careful if you're traveling around this time, or if you're sitting an exam around this time. Make sure you have the dates and everything all linked up, and you know exactly what the details are and exactly what it is that you need. With Venus being in your 9th house as well, Capricorn, trine Pluto in your 1st house, if you're in education in any capacity, whether you're studying or whether you're teaching, there could be a blessing coming around this time, a blessed change. We have the clock card and we have the book underneath. Time is of the essence with something, Capricorn. I feel like you have to make a decision. I feel like something is requiring a deadline potentially. If you can push it beyond Mercury retrograde, that would be great, because Mercury retrograde can just mean you need to go over things again. It's not doomed if you start a new job in Mercury retrograde. I can tell you that much. It is not. It can just mean that things are a little bit different than what you expected, or there's something needs to be revisited, or there's just a bit of a hiccup at the start, is the way that I see starting a new job in Mercury retrograde. I know people that started their first graduate job during Mercury retrograde and were there for years and had a wonderful time. So that is what I have for you, Capricorn. I hope you have a beautiful new moon. Talk soon. Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Libra, which is your 9th house. We have a new beginning in your 9th house. This means that seeds are being planted, or new beginnings are happening in regards to your education, your relationship with faith, your belief system, maybe even travel. Aquarius, this could be a time when you're deciding you would like to travel a little bit more. You're setting that intention. Maybe you're taking a trip. With the opposition to Jupiter in your 3rd, you could find that any trip you're planning or taking around this time feels very good for your soul, feels very good for your sense of awareness. It could recharge you. It could make you feel a lot more optimistic. But I think for a lot of you, there is some kind of new beginning happening in those areas. And if there is, it's very blessed, because with Jupiter in your 3rd house, you'll be able to say what needs to be said. You'll be able to talk about things. You'll be able to learn things, retain the information with this new beginning. So this might be as well that you're reading a lot of books about faith, or you're reading a lot of books about spiritual topics or philosophical topics, or you're learning something new around this time, Aquarius. And this is going to be quite exciting for you. The new moon is ruled by Venus, and Venus is in your 8th house, trine Pluto in your 12th. Venus in your 8th is conjunct Mercury, which is retrograding in Virgo now as well. So one of the things that's kind of going on here is that I feel like you're maybe revisiting and healing something on a psychological or even a spiritual or occult sense. It's like you're picking up something again and it's really benefiting you in terms of your healing process. So maybe you're finding that you are doing something that is, if you work in a spiritual profession in particular, or you're a healer, you might find yourself picking up a skill again that really benefits you, which actually helps you heal while helping others heal. If you're not in that area, you might actually find that some money that was owed to you comes back to you, and this benefits you and maybe gives you a bit more peace of mind, Aquarius. So let me have a little look at your tarot and see what the message is for you at this new moon in Libra. We have the stork. You could definitely be receiving news around this time, Aquarius. There seems to be something kind of significant in the pipeline. Storks are also known for returning home. So some of you could be moving around this time, or someone could be popping up again that has, maybe they moved across the world, or they moved to a different country, or you could be hearing from someone from a foreign location, or even visiting someone at a foreign location thanks to this new moon happening in your 9th house. That's what I have for you, Aquarius. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Pisces, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to your new moon in Libra forecast. Pisces, this is happening in your 8th house. So there's a new beginning in your 8th house. And the 8th house is so many things. It is a new beginning for you financially. It is maybe a new beginning for you in your intimate life, and it might also be a new beginning for you psychologically, or a new beginning for you in terms of the occult and all the spooky stuff. So the way that I'm seeing this playing out for you, Pisces, Jupiter is the ruler of your 1st house and your 10th house, and it is opposite this new moon. There's some kind of new beginning happening for you that is benefiting you in terms of your finances, but also in terms of your image, in terms of the image you present to the world. So there's something very exciting happening for you around this time, Pisces, that is going to make you feel very, I would say, confident. I would also say it makes you feel very strong in your self-worth. You feel very pleased with yourself in this new beginning, whatever it is. I also feel like because it's a new moon in the 8th house, and the ruler of this new moon is Venus, and Venus is in your 7th house, conjunct your 7th house ruler in the 7th house. A lot of you could have a new beginning happening for you romantically. It could actually be a pretty soulful connection, because the 8th house is very soulful, very deep. You might be realizing that what you're craving in relationships, if you're looking for one, is depth. You want a new, you have a new best friend who's really deep and really on a soulful level with you. You're attracted in a new relationship, and they're really, maybe they're not your type, maybe they're a bit different to your type, but you've depth in your connection, and that's what's pulling you in. Or maybe in a current relationship, you're establishing more depth. You're getting to know each other better. You're working through things together. You're working through your demons together, something like that. You're really helping each other heal. And in turn, that's connecting you with more intimacy. Your ruler Venus being in Virgo trine Pluto in the 11th house. A lot of you could have a wish come true regarding romance at this time, regarding your relationship. Some of you could also fall in love with a friend around this time, or you could fall in love with someone in your social circle, or you could meet someone through a friend, or meet someone through a group event or a social event. Your 7th house ruler, Mercury, is in your 7th house. It's opposite Neptune in your 1st house. This opposition is giving another partnership feel to it. You might be giving a partnership another go, someone you separated with. You might be reconnecting with someone you used to date or used to be in a relationship with, but you might just as equally reconnect with someone that you didn't see as relationship potential before, but now you do. Or Mercury retrograde does actually have a way of bringing in past life soulmates too, so maybe something is beginning for you there if you're single. So let's have a little look, Pisces, and see what we get. Also to mention, this new moon opposite Jupiter in your 2nd house, you could be benefiting financially around this time. You could be attracting in more money. There's a new beginning happening for you financially that is going to be a payoff for you. So maybe your spouse, if you're married, or your partner is coming into a new salary that is going to benefit you both, and it's going to make you feel more flush. Or maybe there's some kind of new beginning in your tax payments or whatever it is that's going to give you a bit of a boost financially, Pisces. Okay, we have the Child card. This came up for somebody else. Is it Leo? Is it Leo? I'm not sure. But that could be significant. I think it might have been Leo. The Child card. I feel like for a lot of you, you could be with this, obviously dealing with the children. There could be an addition of a child to your life, or there could be something comes up with a child. But I also feel like for a lot of you, this could be about the the fairy tale, you know, what it is that you dreamt of as a child, who you dreamt of as a child. A lot of Pisces placements, funnily enough, and Linda Goodman touched on this a little bit in her Love Signs book, I remember. A lot of Pisces dream of their soulmate whenever they're very young. Like they dream of who it will be, what they'll look like, how they'll feel, or I think it's just that kind of, what did you dream of having when you were young, and is your life living up to that fairy tale? And it might also be that around this time, the 8th house is very witchy. You could actually manifest something you've dreamed of for a very long time. You could manifest it in really very quickly, Pisces. I'll just clarify that. Ooh, the cross. Interesting. And then the heart underneath. Yeah, I feel like some of you with the ruler of this being Venus in your 7th house, some of you could be talking about marriage. Some of you could be talking about marriage with somebody. Maybe that you're dating, or you could be getting married, or you could be getting engaged, or something like that at this time, Pisces. Or meeting the person you're going to marry, who knows. But that's what I have for you, and I will talk to you soon.